Hello, hi, my name is Sonia making Hunt, and this is my testimony. I was born in Guyana, South America, and I was raised in a Christian home with both parents. I was part of a well-known denomination, and we grew up hearing about God, learning about God, Sunday school, youth service, the works, everything that describes a churchgoer. That was me, that was my family. But I never really had a relationship with God. People say, okay, you know about God, once you believe in Jesus, that's it, you're good. But I never really, all I did, the normal traditional going to church, knowing Jesus, going to church, praying, but that relationship was not there. And going through life, graduated college, working in corporate America, it was awesome, doing my thing, and dream job that I wanted, and everything was going good, and I was a planner, and everything I wanted actually came through, and life was good. I had no complaints. One day, my work, something happened, and I don't want to say I'm not responsible, but I would say I was partially responsible, and I take the part of the blame for it. And it was really, really hurtful, and I felt so down. I felt so depressed. It's like my work came crashing down, and I'm a planner. I plan for everything, and planning was me. That's all I do. Like a plan. I love to plan, and when something hit you in a way that you didn't expect, and life turned upside down, and work is the pressure of work, and everyone want to blame you for what happened. It hit me really hard, and I felt really depressed and bad, and questioning myself. Probably this field is not cut out for me. Probably I should be doing something else. Probably, it really hit me really, really hard. But then one of the ladies that chose to blame me, but one of those ladies, she reached out to me. She said, I think that we had a few meetings at work too regarding the same issue, and even after the meeting, I think she came to me and she said, girl, it was like angels watching over you. And I was like, first of all, I didn't want to hear her because I was kind of mad at her because it was some of her fault, but I didn't want to hear her. But when she said, girl, it was angels watching over you, this could have happened, that kind of, but it was angels watching over you. And after she left, I stopped and I pondered. I was angels watching over me. And I'm getting teary-eyed. When she said that, after she left the office, my office, I thought about it, and after when she said that, I felt a peace, and I felt a love, I felt a calmness that came over me. And I was like, God, is that you? And after that, I don't know what happened, but I had a come into Jesus moment. I never thought I would say that, but yeah, I had a come into Jesus moment. That's what it is. That's what it was. So yeah, and then afterwards, I recommitted my life to God, and thankfully my first son was about 4, and I was able to raise him up. We found ourselves in a church, one of the same churches that I grew up in, one of those denomination. And I found myself in a church, and I got my husband on board, and we attended church together, and we started to go to church regularly. And after my second son came, he grew up in church, so I was so thankful I was able to raise my kids in church and knowing who Jesus is and having that relationship with Jesus, because at the beginning, I didn't have a relationship. All I knew was there's a God and He loves me, and you know, the general idea of God. But just knowing that He was there for me when I didn't even wasn't even pay Him no attention, or even, you know, have a relationship with Him. So that is what really light the fire under me to really, I call it an encounter. I would say it's an encounter because my life changed dramatically after that. And afterwards I you know, started to attend Bible studies, started to read my word, started to actually get into the word and know what God's word says, and the relationship that I developed with Jesus. He really showed me His love, and since then I started living for Him. I started to have a daily relationship with Him, talking to Him with every situation, seeking Him with everything, and seeking Him with every situation. Now, I am not a planner as I was before. I am at a certain extent, but it's a different kind of planning. I leave it to God, knowing that He's the one that has my back in every situation. So I will call it an encounter with God, and I've never been the same since then. I've always leaned on Him in every situation, and that's my goal, to continue to living for Him, continue to telling others about Him, continue to encourage others to serve Him and trust Him, and to have that relationship, which is very, very important. And that's my testimony.